This seems like as good a spot as any. Secluded, dark, quiet. Should serve our purpose. As I am sure you've been able to tell by now, there is much more to being a vampire than simply drinking blood and, well, in the case of most vampires, preying on people. Absolutely. Vampires are not necessarily evil, though most definitely tend to be. In general, the longer you are a vampire, the more you tend to lean towards the evil side of things. And unfortunately as well, most vampires tend to lean towards the self-entitled, self-important, and selfish side of things. They aren't without ethics most of the time, and most vampires tend to have morals, though their moral code and ethics usually place them at the top of the food chain, with all others falling somewhere beneath them. You've almost got it. The most important part of countering this type of mentality in vampires is, well, to simply be aware of it. This is what my mother was referring to when she said that most vampires tend to lose their sanity or lose their humanity. If you're aware of the potential for these sort of developments, you can notice the patterns and snuff them out before they become an issue. Well, for the most part, that is. Absolutely. Though that also tends to occur because vampires tend to outlive everyone. For lack of a better term, most vampires will, unfortunately, watch everyone they love die at some point or another. And if you ask me, that can drive anyone a bit mad. That is why some vampiric bloodlines form clans where they stick together in an attempt to maintain their sanity. Though you have me and I have you, so hopefully we'll be able to prevent the true progression of those symptoms in each other. Absolutely. Though the most important part of being a vampire, at least one that is combat focused, and utilizing the true power that comes with being a vampire, is understanding what type of vampire you are. Indeed, there are different types of vampires. There are night stalkers, blood mages, and juggernauts. They all have different strengths, weaknesses, and powers available to them. Though every vampire gets a bit of all three. When you become a vampire, you gain a particular aptitude for one of the three over the others. For instance, I have an aptitude specifically for Night Stalker and Blood Mage. Night Stalkers are typically stealthier vampires. They focus on lurking in the shadows and pouncing when the opportunity is right. They usually have an aptitude as well for illusion and enchantment magics. such as I am sure you heard about in the legends that humans tell of vampires. The charm ability, for instance, is one most commonly used by Night Stalkers, though there are even some Night Stalkers who never learn how to truly use it. Then, blood mages are mostly ranged casters who focus on manipulating the blood of themselves and their allies to make them stronger, and the blood of their enemies to debilitate and kill them. Most blood mages do not even need to bite someone to feed on them. Instead, they have the ability to use magic to drain the blood from their victims. Blood mages typically have a proclivity for destruction and alteration types of magics. They also tend to make incredibly potent alchemists and enchanters. Vampiric juggernauts, however, are a bit of an odd breed, following in the footsteps of one of the first vampires of our time, Count Strahd von Zarovich. These vampires usually carry heavy weaponry, large greatswords, buster swords. Some of them, though, just use simple long swords and shields. These vampires combine their natural increased resistances with heavy plate armor to overwhelm and lead their foes from the front lines. While not near as magically inclined as other types of vampires, they do still use some magic, though their magic is much more in line with that of clerics or paladins, drawing their strength from our vampiric god Vampire, the father of all vampires. It is always possible that maybe you are able to draw abilities from more than one, like I can draw abilities from both Night Stalker and Blood Mage. We shall see which call to you, though, so now what we shall do is pray to Vampire, and your first vampiric abilities shall be revealed. After we have an idea of what your vampiric powers you lean towards, we will begin your training, attempting to unlock some of your more latent abilities. We will need you in a true fighting state if we are to have a chance against the Crimson Dawn when they attack. Am I sure Vampire will speak to you? Absolutely I am. My dear, you have adapted to your vampiric form faster than even I did when I was first turned. I am sure he will speak to you. After all, he has already welcomed you into his family as one of his children. He will surely reveal what type of vampire you were meant to be. Now follow my lead, my dear. First, kneel down on one knee, like me. There you go. Now, clear your mind of all thoughts. Take deep breaths. Follow my lead. In through your nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. Let's do it a few more times. In through your nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and exhale. One more time. In through your nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and exhale. Good job, dear. You're doing great. Now that our thoughts are sufficiently clear, follow along with my voice. Simply listen to my words. Father Vampire, your children of the night pray to you. Come to us. Bring us to your domain of night and blood, as we are your most devoted of children. Answer our prayers and young blood, I wondered when you would finally find your way to me. Come, let us talk.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more in the future. I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night. My spider.